Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz January 26, 2016 at 2:04 a.m. Birmingham. Topic, vision, dream, and one together. Um, Tell you what I've got. A man was in a house that he wasn't familiar with. He was apparently in some sort of a dream state. He woke up only after being calmed down by someone taking two fingers on his left hand and gripping them and holding them. He didn't see who that was. He felt who it was and said he thought he knew who it was, but he didn't say. But he got up and he, like I said, he'd been crying. His face was wet. And he walked out and he looked back and didn't recognize the house he was in. But yet he just walked down and there's a beach. And he sees hundreds of people on this beach. And they're all fully clothed. And they're all standing and just looking kind of upward. Not straight up, but between the straight up and the horizon. The first thing that he saw was just an ugly sky of three different colors: deep blue, deep green, and purple. And there was light parts of, green. Deep green went to a little bit lighter, deep purple went to a shade lighter until it turned into deep blue. But these colors were in the sky. It was an angry sky. But in it, they were looking at something giant, the stationary, just there. He saw it. And it was like he didn't say anything. I mean, he's there and he looks at the water. He doesn't see a normal beach. He sees rock slabs, just kind of like you would see in Maine and that part of the country, right on down to the water. And the waves weren't just pounding waves, they were just ripples. And these people were standing all around. None of them was looking anywhere but up. He did see that where the sky came down, it stopped above the horizon. And through that gap, he saw the sun. It was a bright yellow, but wasn't casting sunlight. It was there, just a bright sun between the gap in the clouds, the lower part, and the horizon. But it wasn't, it wasn't bright. It wasn't, one of those days where you squint and look at it. Wasn't that? He said no sunlight was coming through. Everything around them was still kind of dark. But they kept looking at this thing in the sky. And this man looked and he said no thought came to his mind. He turned to walk away. And as he walked back up the beach toward his house, or toward that house, he didn't go back to the house. He's walking up and he gets where the ground levels off and he sees a round, like he said, described it as an igloo without the, traditional way to build them and get inside of them. And it's made out of concrete blocks, cement blocks, and it was round but half buried. And it was meant for him. And he started getting in it. And he instantly knew by that something's coming, something's fixing to happen. And he got in it because he knew that was protection. And that was the dream. But trying to find a place in this country that describes what I did, or that looks like what I described. I've been to not much of Washington State on the coast, but I've been through the entire coast of Oregon and half the coast of California, driving that highway there. I've never seen flat rocks just covering a beach. I mean, these rocks are 200 or 300 feet long and just they're part of the beach. They just kind of ease into the water like you might see in Newfoundland. And so I'm assuming what he was seeing was in the east, northeast. And so he's not the only person seeing and saying that, and he didn't say that there was a tsunami. It's just that he described he had to get in this thing to have protection. And but another thing, quickly, you notice every time there's been a tsunami coming, cattle, horses, animals, birds, anything on the ground that can get away will get away. Like in Thailand when that thing hit, cattle were heading for the hills before the water ever retreated out of the bay or off the coast. And then the tsunami came. The cattle were leaving, they were going, and the wave came before people left. So they know stuff, and that's why they, if they're on a fence, I've heard stories of them just going through barbed wire fences, just tearing it down, and they're getting out of there. Anyway, this is what he saw, and he didn't have a time or anything, but it relates to other people what they're seeing. Also, they're seeing tsunamis hitting the East Coast, and they're seeing them hitting California, or and the whole West Coast there. Just a dream and vision, and it posted tonight. Jody Wolf Expoz.